Make sure we're live on Twitch, which we should be. And we're good to go. App update available. Oh, brilliant. I have to update my fucking Twitch app on my phone. Lovely. Well, you know what, we'll just go for it now. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to round 17 of our Tier 1 Championship. Not quite Tier 2, which is what I'm more used to. And you can tell, no, I am not David Lawface, because I am Scottish. This is Cruiser 1872 on a Thursday evening, but still Tier 1, the elite of FPRL. We are in for a cracking evening here at the Circuit of the Americas. But joining me in his usual, and I would say rightful place, on a Thursday evening, is the one and only Silverside Boy.
Hello. Two vibes all over again.
Yeah, definitely. For those who are not quite as familiar in FPRL, we did have a tier, not quite tier 2, I'm so used to saying tier 2, our Formula 2 Championship back around F1 21 and the start of F1 22. Me and Silverside Boy were actually the commentary pairing for those races. Unfortunately, though, that has been stopped for, I would probably say, a much more eventful circumstance, that being our Tier 4 Championship, which, by the way, check that out on Sunday. It's going to be as close as all of our other tiers have been, and we're in for a very chaotic end to the season. 4 races remaining in Tier 1, and with that, we'll move on, as we mentioned, our Championship standings. We'll actually have a look at them right now, as we're going to follow Collateral Ads. Probably well, I've got to be careful when I say that, everyone's favourite team in Tier 1, along with Mr. C. Davies, who join him on
I would
Friday.
say loudest team.
Well, at least they top the charts at something. Yeah, as I said, be sure to join C. Davies tomorrow evening, I'm sure, for Friday's Tier 2 race. I hope we'll hopefully be back. I hear the Oz of disapproval. Hopefully I'm back for our next race in Miami. But while we were saying going through with Collateral Ads is outlap, have a look at our championship standings, which adds in the Williams, as you see down in P12, on 228 points, and AMS Drive on quite the resurgence here, as Collateral Ads will start his first lap now, on 174 points, a gap of 44 points, if my maths is correct. Nope, 54 points. So, close enough. Yep, 54 points between our top two with 4 races remaining, and with AMS Drive's performances these last few weeks, safe to say that Ads might have his work cut out to defend against that Alpine there, Yari.
Yeah, Drive's on a bit of a redemption arc. Didn't have the best starts of the season, but now coming back to the old AMS Drive that we love and loathe. Well, depends who you are, you love or loathe him. But you've forgotten to mention about the new driver.
Absolutely. As you'll see in, I believe it is the Alpha Tauri this evening, as we're just going to follow Collateral Ads off into the sunset down the back straight. We've got our new driver tonight, JJ Hudson. I think we'll just call him either or this evening, probably just go with Hudson for the remainder of the evening, and like always, wishing them a very good luck in their debut outing. Joined a matter of hours ago, actually, to the league, so getting through in at the deep end, especially in the Tier 1 paddock, as we're going to see Collateral Ads going through this horseshoe here, I'd argue the most difficult corner on this Circuit of the Americas track, and careful just about gets away with the track limits there at turn 19. Now for turn 20, the final corner, up to the line, and it's a 35.3 for Collateral Ads. Decent banker, let's see what others can do regarding that.
Being his mate, I don't know that's the best. I know he can do better than that. It's not the. I was expecting probably this session 34s. This session to get them all warmed up. Yeah, no. It didn't look like. It didn't look like it. As Cormac goes, oh, never mind. Maybe not. Maybe we are right with those times.
Yeah, I think Millsy made a mistake. Yeah, he did. He invalidated going in the second to last corner, and Cormac as well getting very, very lucky with the final corner, almost going over the white line, but just kept it within boundaries. And a 35.2 for the McLaren. I'm trying to see who else is going around to start a lap, I'm seeing an Alpha Tauri, which I think we do see. There's Hudson on a set of medium tyres, another, I think, force of habit, I believe, for our tier paddock. As we see from the tyre graphic, quite a few drivers on a set of medium tyres, hoping to probably just burn them up in Q1 and maybe in Q2. And I think, as it's going to be their debut outing, we'll follow Hudson for their first run in FPRL and their first run in Q1. Turn 1.
Nice and,
Oh,
nice
very
and tidy
classy.
through there.
Very, very tidy. Now, time 2, and then this is very difficult to get right. 3, 4, 5, and then turn 6 in unison, and then up towards turn 7, end of sector 1. 25, 7, and then turn 8, and then the very treacherous turn 9. It's such a tight corner, just catches it there. Very well held there from Hudson. Now, turn 10, pretty much an unknown corner to be honest, and then the hairpin of turn 11, critical to get a good exit here and gets in the power quite well. And then we see there, you can play the Top Gun theme if you know, you know, from Charles Leclerc's practice session in COTA. Probably the only one who gets that reference.
Sorry.
At least I'm not the only one who gets that reference. But now turn 12, a bit of a duplicate there from turn 11, another hairpin, and a 103.6, making a 38.3 for the middle sector there for Hudson. Now through the stadium up towards turn 15 is Ermine. You mentioned the 34s there, Gary. That is certainly more like it from the Alpha Tauri, from one of the Alpha Tauri drivers. Now we'll see what their teammate can do. Through the horseshoe, now turn 19 keeps it very nicely actually within boundaries, and then turn 20, the final corner on this track. Quick dose of DRS up to the line. It's a 35.0. So Alpha Tauri looking like they've got a bit of pace to offer here this evening.
Yeah, mine's the time that we're probably looking for, which is quite impressive. 34.6 on a set of mediums. What we will need to point out, Ali Ferrari as he's coming through the final sector right now. Ali is suffering with an injury, so we'll see. Oh, where's he going? Ali Ferrari.
Yeah, Ali, I'm your teammate in Red Bull. Oh wow, 33.5.
He's just done my time. He's done my qualifying lap I just did a minute ago.
That's faster than my time trial. That's all I'm gonna say on that. Mine's is a 33.6.
I did that earlier on, and I'm not Ali Ferrari.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Ali Ferrari back to Tier 1 with his with his rapid pace and suspect lines to the finish line.
I don't think that's actually. I don't think that lap can count.
Well, it's. I mean,
that lap's
not counted. It's invalidated. Yeah, Ali, I'm sorry, lads. I'm your teammate. I'm gonna call you out for that one. I'm sorry.
It's Jock.
Yeah, well, fair enough. I jocked in the 34-1. We just saw them before we switched over to Ali Ferrari, and as the Silverside boy said, Ali Ferrari has sustained an injury tonight, I believe, to his arm. So on a rig, that's going to be a little bit tiresome. As Bourbon Boy, that's going to be a tongue twister for me. I think we'll just stick with Bourbon for tonight, and no, we are not on the alcohol. But still, invalidated through Sector 1, easy done. But keeps his tyres in check, he can go for another push lap. We got Lizard King in the Red Bull going through the stadium next. We also got Mr. C. Davies actually just starting their lap. We'll jump over towards C. Davies through this first sector, and a driver who actually you were in the party with earlier here, Silverside Boy. I think he's a little bit confident under given circumstances, as Mr. C.
Who's this, Colin?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not going to do him dirty. He's hit or miss with this. He's been practicing to find a setup that he can kind of, as he would say, let him cook with. It comes and goes. He's really struggling with this game. He's not enjoying it. But all he needs to do is get through tonight, and he'll get to look forward to the F1 23 beta, which we'll be playing all weekend.
Yeah, I think that's rather filled up the plans for everyone else's weekend, unfortunately.
Well, not me.
Yeah. Well, obviously, unfortunately, in light of events out in the real world, this weekend's Formula One Grand Prix in Imola has had to be cancelled. So it's very unfortunate what's happening, and I think thoughts will go out to those in the Emilia-Romagna region, much like everyone else in the F1 community, as C. Davies on a 35-1 puts himself up in 8th. And as Silver Boy mentioned too, it's that time as well. F123 is just a few weeks away, and along with that is a brand new season. As I mentioned at the start of the stream, we have 4 races left. Say 4 races left this week in FPRL before we pack our bags and take the short flight over to Miami in a week's time. I'll say a week's time, just about 6 days' time before our Tier 3s hit the seaside state of Miami and see what they can do around the new street circuit. Spoiler alert, it's terrible from a Cruiser 1872 perspective. Meanwhile, let's see what AMS Drive can do. Also, Toadmasters is goofed. That's not new. Oh, there we go. He's changed to a set of medium tyres and set a lap time while doing that lap. On a 34.3 there for AMS Drive. Relatively stable, and could put him through to Q2 on that, maybe? I'm pretty sure. As...
Yeah,
Whoa!
definitely.
Whoa!
Oh my! Excuse me? I
And
just need to point out
arriving
here.
on the scene is Ceres V.
He's
Wow.
always been fast.
A third... Well, this is my first time, I think, this season in a long time I've seen Tier 1 pace. A 132.916 in Q1. Wow.
Did we see 31s?
Ah. I wouldn't put it past, to be honest. In Tier 1, I would not put it past. But anyway, in the meantime, that is the opening exchanges. I say opening exchanges done in Q1. Everyone, bar Millsy, has had a lap time on the board, and really, I wouldn't really count Mad User either. That is not what the Mercedes driver can do. A 42.4 definitely made a mistake on their first run. But as with 17 drivers this evening, we were facing 2 dropouts in Q1 to make it the top 15, and then the next 5 dropouts will determine our top 10 shootout for, obviously, for pole. And looking at the time so far, we've got Raza on a 34.7, Ermine getting that early lap in on a 34.6, C. Davies on the 35.1, Hudson on a 35.0. And I think you're looking towards a 34.4 if you want to guarantee safety.
That is quite a hard time to hit. Especially Magyus is going for another run. Best times are 142.4. Obviously, he made a mistake. But yeah, Magyus has been on a little bit of a roll. Don't forget about Magyus in this championship fight. Obviously, a former Tier 2 champion from Season 3. And overall constructor champion with Red Bull for that season as well. He's doing quite well in Tier 1 since he's moved up.
Toadmasters, I can't get a good camera angle from Toadmasters, but getting a view that you're right. There we go. Finally, get a good view of the Mercedes at the end of the straight. Nice. Up by half a second though is Mad User, and as you said there, Silver Boy, he's toping well. Yeah, do you know what? I'm not gonna bother calling Silver Boy anymore. I'm just gonna say your name as it is. It's what we're used. It's what we're used to.
Everyone always says it is.
Yeah. We all know who you are, but. I tried it and it's not working. Anyway, Mad User, now around the final corner, was up by half a second. Needs to find a whole lot more in this final sector, which I think, looking at that time, he's done just that, and it's a 33.6. That should be him through into Q2, and that now puts Collateral Ads in the drop zone, who's been held in the pits by his teammate. That's not ideal.
Oh, that's going to piss him off.
Oh no! It's chaos, and Cormac's invalidated too. That's not ideal for the McLaren driver. And Ali Ferrari saying RBT is fast.
That's my
Yes.
first chat thing
Yeah.
of the day.
Yeah.
Where is
Oh.
everyone?
I think you're on hiatus because it's tier one on the Thursday evening. It's no, you know what it is?
Um,
It's because David's not here. That's what it is.
yeah. Can we just shout out to Mr. Lolface? He's probably here watching. In bed.
Yeah.
Uh, he's in bed with a what was it pack of what is it tissues
No,
because
but
he's not feeling too
so I was like,
well.
I'm gonna stop you right there. I'll leave it at that. But all I'm gonna say
Well, no, he's
is,
no. He's got a snotty nose. He's got a runny nose. He's got tissues to his runny nose. You dirty animals.
yeah, we knew where that one was
Get your
doing.
minds out of the gutters.
Yeah,
God.
yeah, you knew where that one was doing. You backed out of that pretty quick.
Yeah,
But
God. Dirty
yeah,
animals.
but still, David, if you are watching, don't get Jake to sing you a lullaby. That's all I'm gonna say.
Get you to sing him Peppa Pig.
Yeah, no. That's all I'm going to say on that. And that's a small incentive. If you haven't watched our Tier 3 race around COTA, go check that out with Jake and Darth Grey Fox taking us through the Tier 3 action. And I'm not saying to watch it because I got a podium, but watch it. Watch it because I
You
got a
are.
podium.
Here comes Millsy for the final corner on his first his only timed run. It's going to count.
Oh, he's got to get this right then. And he does it quite well. 33.7 for Millsy. Puts him in 5th.
Oh, Kyle Had, where is he?
He's on an outlap. He's going down the back straight. No, he's not. This is going to
Teammate.
be 1 minute 18. This is going to be so close here for Collateral Lads, but he's not
He's
leaving it a
got to move
chance.
on.
He's
Got
got
to
to
move on.
He's going to be close. Meanwhile, now that's now put Tormac in the drop zone, and he's brought the lap together as well. He's matched his first sector. We got C Davies as well. He has to get on a lap too, but he's on used softs. Hudson's out on a set of new softs as well. We got Raza not feeling safe either, and as well, AMS Drive on another push lap. He's matched his first sector. He's got to find a lot of time, and that I think is C Davies. It's not. It's Collateral Ads right in front of them, but C Davies. He's invalidated in his outlap. He's going to have one more chance
Is he
starting
holding him up?
now. And Collateral Ads, he's got a push to the flag, but this is not helping AMS Drive's case here. He's going to get a good slipstream though, but I don't you want that around this corner. And he's just
trying to
let
let
him through. Oh, nah, I think
No.
that's a misunderstanding, I think. And you see AMS Drive, he's going to back out of that plan. And actually, he
I
turned
think he
off
was
his...
not actually.
No,
I think he made a mistake.
yeah, I think he might have backed off that lap there. He's going to have one more go though, but on a set of medium tyres, he's really got to get this lap together. As we now begin the final exchanges in Q1, Rob Kelly, who we've actually not spoken about at all this stream, is down in 12th, could be in a bit of trouble as well. We got Jock as well on a 34-1. We got Raza going through the second to last corner, just keeps it within the limits, and now the final corner as well, take as much as you can without being too greedy. Millsy has retired from the session in the pits as Raza goes 6th. That now puts AMS Drive down in 14th, and Rob Kelly is looking very precariously at the end of the drop zone as Collateral Ads is invalidated in his final run. They are out, Cormac's out, and that means C Davies is through along with AMS Drive. They can complete their lap if they want, but I think it's really just for pride if they do. But Collateral Ads and Cormac, the two casualties in Q1.
Come on, Colin. I know you're already through, mate. It's the first time he's actually got through in quality for a while.
And
Is
he's
this all he was at?
invalidated.
Oh, he's about. Oh, for God's sake.
Anyway, we'll jump back to AMS Drive. We'll see what they can
was
do for
actually
a
a
bit
really
of
good
track
act.
action.
35-0 would have not actually moved him.
Ah well, Hudson, for his first outing, they get 10th in Q1, relatively stable, but Ceres, he's a second behind. Just an indicator of how quick that lap actually was, as Hudson made it through on a 34-0. And Ceres is the only driver to even get close to the 32s, as AMS Drive does,
Gone for a spin.
does a COTA special. And that will conclude Q1. Seeing Cormac and
So
Collateral
I've just
Ads-
crossed the line.
Aye, nothing to do. Which Cormac and Collateral Ads are knocked out. C Davies makes it through. AMS Drive just survives, but didn't have to use any soft tyres though, so that'll bode well for Q2. Rob Kelly, Jock, Henkes, Hudson, Ermine, Ads made it through in 8th. Millsy, Raza, Bourbon, Lizard King, and in our top 3 in Q1, we've got Mad User, Ali Ferrari, and Ceres. As I will take a quick drink while we have an interval. As we see, oh, how nice, Roadmasters. You worked on getting us cameras to see Ricardo in the pit lane. How nice. As we see, there Ceres and a 32.9. Some 6 tenths clear of Ali Ferrari. And that is unheard of.
Christ. I don't know. I need to actually. Can I look at his time? I can't look at his time. Actually, I can.
Yeah, you can race that director.
25.3 in the first sector. 37.2, 30.3. Ali's times. 25.3, 37.4. He gained it all in the final sector. He gained like 4 attempts in the last sector on Ali.
Well, we know where to improve. Good evening to Drobel in the chat saying a W from Mr. Colin, aka C Davies, and on Q1 made it through. And what was that? I think he said something like it's the first time he's made it through Q1 in quite a while. Can't quite pick what track it was though that he made it through. And C Davies as well in the chat saying it was a shocking lap. They had a good bit of time in hand. Well, bit of confidence then, just try to get the lap together, which around the circuit of the Americas is very, very difficult indeed. I mean, especially from Tier 3, if it's raining, for example, you have one lap on inters and you muck it up. Can't imagine who would do that. Anyway, Q2 getting underway, and now we're going to see a little bit more clearly who has the pace around this track this evening, because we know one driver, that being the McLaren of Ceres. He's almost a dead set to get through to Q3, albeit if things go their way. Ali Ferrari and AMS Drive, you put your money on too. Mad User also on quite a bit of a resurgence, and all the other slots are still up for grabs. As not wasting any time here, we've got, I think that is ads going through the dirt lap. It's Ermine in the Alpha Tauri going down towards the back straight, but it's going to be Bourbon Boy actually. And as I mentioned,
Oh, you got that right.
yeah, I might actually, I'm just referring to him as Bourbon. As I've said, I'm going to refer to him to that for the race, just in case. It's just better, I think. I'm not going to call him by a full username. That's an exception, but still, I think.
What? Just like yourself?
Yeah, well, obviously you're not going to pronounce my full username with all the bloody numbers in the end. It's like you're trying to track into a safe.
Now, should I start calling you by your real name, as you're calling me by my real name?
The thing is, everyone calls you by your real name because it's tradition, question mark. If you want to, you have my permission.
By the way, Cameron is Queen's
Yes.
real name.
There you go.
Or Cam. I'll just call him Cam because it's
No.
always a short thing.
Yeah, no, I'm that person. It's the full name or no name.
I've just seen chat. Drobel reckons as
Bourbon's invalidated.
turn 2 reckons that Drive can get eliminated or get eliminated. Called him the fraud. I don't think Drive will appreciate that.
Oh, lovely. There's a bit of yellow flag up at sector 3. That I think is ads. Yep, just starting their lap there. C Davies buzzing the rev limiter there, getting rotation in that Alfa Romeo. Now through turn 8, and then turn 9 quickly throws it to the left, just keeps it within boundaries as well. But obviously purple sector 1 for being one of the first drivers to get their lap in. And L, that's not how it works, my friend. You need to donate channel points to do a truth or dare in our Twitch streams. So you better save up 500 channel points and get that redeemed. And I think here, Daddy, I know exactly who that truth or dare is going to. Anyway, C Davies down towards turn 12. See what their middle sector split is. It's into the 104s, borderline 104s. There you go. Oh, you don't imagine wagon. Who is that? Who is that username? You need to. I need to go back to that
I don't know.
Probably someone's burner account. Anyway, the name.
To give one of my laugh.
Yeah.
Oh, Colin!
Oh.
Christ! Christ! How's he caught that? That was a nice little drift. That was Tokyo drifting that.
Now you don't get any style points for that lap, but at least it's going to be a lap. It's a 35.7. Could have been far worse there for C Davies. But Ermine picking up where he left off, a 34.2. That's still nearly a second, actually over a second behind what Sarah's done in Q1, who is actually out on track now. Actually just starting their lap now, so I think we'll remain with... Oh, just about caught that going downhill. Massive snap as Ads does a 33.6. That's more like it. It's still 7 tenths behind what this man done in Q1. And there's just a sign as well, a 25.5 for Ceres, who is absolutely flying this evening.
Uh, RBT, I'm going to call him, has been in the league previously, and is a very well-known driver in the Hungarian scene. So we may get raided by all his Hungarian fans coming into the stream if they realise he's back in FPRL. So I know how fast RBT can be. Yeah, he's only got faster since I asked him if he's done a 1:2.8. Oh,
Oh! And
God damn it.
I think, is his trump card used.
Cursed him.
Not the incentive, but obviously in Fair Play Racing League, you're never far away for a commentator's curse, and it seems as though Ceres has just about had that befall them. But
Oi.
they can get back to the pits at least, much like with C. Davies. It's not a major calamity, just a bit of a nuisance, we'll put it to that. And actually, he's going to go for another lap. No, he's going to complete his lap, I think, just to get a bit of a banker in. Nothing special, shockingly, from the McLaren, a 48.1. Obviously, we know that can be improved on. As we looked through the field.
I'm waiting for Elle to tell me if it's truthful. What asked me truthful there.
Yeah, we're still waiting. As Ali Ferrari in a 33.2. That's 3 tenths quicker than what he managed in Q1, but still has to find a bit more time, I'd imagine, to get a chance at pole. But Lizard King, he's only a few tenths down to what Ceres managed, and that is respectable. Now let's see what the Ferrari can do for this evening. Oh my god, what? That's a massive snap. Just caught that as well. But what is it with these drivers getting terrible oversteer moments at the exit these corners?
It literally is just this track. This track is, I would say, EA have so messed up traction on this track. Like, I've watched people who are really confident with the medium and no traction just absolutely suck on the tractions in this game. Even on full, it is really sketchy through some of the corners. Like, you can spin through the horseshoe section just by turning in on full traction. The tyres will just give away, same as somebody on medium. It's horrendous.
Yeah, I think from last season's shocking performance around here, I can fully relate to that. As Ceres is going to dive into the pits and get a new set of tyres on, a little kiss to the wall on entry, and get a new set of tyres and refuel that McLaren for a second push lap, which isn't really what he wanted, but gets back out on track with half the session left to go, 7.5 minutes remaining. We've got Ali Ferrari leading the way on a 33.2, Ads in second on a 33.6, Henkes up to third on a 33.8, Jock, Hudson, Ermine, Rob Kelly, C. Davies, the current 8 drivers to set a respectable lap time. Obviously Ceres on a 48.1, not ideal. Then we've got AMS Drive. How timely, Codemasters. You froze back to the Alpine, who's about to start their first run in Q2. We've got Bourbon, Lizard King, Millsy, Mad User, and AMS Drive's teammate Raza Gamer, who I will refer to as Raza, as I have already, for the remainder of the evening. But AMS Drive, the championship chaser in Tier 1, let's see what they can do in context to their rival Ads on a 33.6. That's got to be the benchmark here for the Alpine, you'd imagine. I think Silverside Boy's having a little bit of an echo and mic issue. We'll hopefully get that sorted in a little bit. There we go. I think.
I'm just asking if Nigel, if it's fixed. I don't know, because I haven't spoken for. I don't know
Nah,
if it's
it's
just
not
you
fixed.
or
It's
me.
me. It's me. Hold on.
I'll continue on. But here comes Amos Drive down the Top Gun straight. No, 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 no. Yeah, hope we don't get copyrighted.
Yeah, you got three things whenever I'm hosting. You got death, taxes, and a crackly microphone. There we go.
To be fair, it only happens when you're on commentary. I don't know. I
Yeah,
have no idea what causes it. Um,
a major
but here,
disliking to Scottish. That's what it is.
oh, here we go. It's blames the Scottish people. It's Scottish.
Yeah, but
But anyway,
we're all this, that, and the next thing anyway. So I'm just saving people the time and hassle. AMS Drive now is there we go. Bourbon up in a 33-2, and AMS Driver in the final corner. Mad User and Raza while we were going through that. As oh, now
MS
it's got
Fraud has crossed the
interesting.
line.
Now it's got interesting.
Nigel Piggle will be happy. Should always be
As
happy. Should be happy no matter what. You got Amos driving your team.
well, I mean I've got Ali Ferrari in my team, so we're pretty even on that statement. As Dedo said, is just starting their run now and in major need of improvement. C. Davies as well has to try and find improvement as he's going to start his lap. Nice try, Codemasters. And as well, Rob Kelly in a familiar situation is in a little bit of trouble looking over his shoulder and actually has to be looking forward in the standings on a 35-2. Has to find more than a second and a half to even have a realistic chance of getting through into Q3. As I think he's heard the battle cry and he's now on track. Hudson, Jock, and Henkes P10 to P8. We got Ads in 7th, actually starting another lap. Obviously not feeling safe himself. And I think really, you're looking to from Ermine down towards obviously C Davies. Ceres, Lizard King, and Milsey haven't set a lap either. Looking from 5th down, they might not be safe here from the drop.
Uh, Nigel Piggle, Ads is not actually. Well, sorry, not Amos. Who's the league champion? It's Ads, isn't it? I
Yeah,
think if Ads can if Ads can win this race and make sure after Miami that he guarantees he's over 50 points in the lead after Miami, he can win the title in Miami. Oh my god.
oh, there he is. There's
Oh,
Ceres.
Jesus. He
Yeah,
went faster.
yeah. Regarding that, Nigel, the gap I think being 54 points for tonight, 26 on offer, and there is 83 remaining for the next three races. The title cannot be won tonight, regardless of whatever happens. But as Silverside Boy said, if Ads has a gap of 52 points or greater after Miami, he will be crowned champion next week. So we're getting towards crunch time here in the standings, and at that time of season in FPRL where everything counts for so much in our championship fights, as Sarah is looking to get a bit of momentum towards next season on a 32-6, and for next week as well, Ads improves to a 33-1, and that sees him right behind his championship rival AMS Drive. Bourbon Boy up in 4th, Ali Ferrari in 5th, as there's Ads backing off, letting everyone through for the final run, and that now puts Jock in major trouble in the drop zone. He's now have one more run as that yellow flag can go away. Thank you. We've got 2 minutes remaining.
Lizard King.
As you said there, Lizard King on a 33-4 puts himself up in 7th, and only 7th. So Lizard King could be in trouble as well, but I wouldn't want to bet on it too much. We got Mad User as well going for another outlap. All these drivers not feeling safe, it seems.
Yeah, Henkers might be fearing the pressures. Raza, Ermine, and everyone down. I'm just looking at where my time I said earlier. My time earlier, 33.5, would put me literally right there where Raza is right now.
Well, just the incentives to how close Tier 1 can be. I've said all season, oh, C. Davies is retired in the pits.
Yeah, he was done. He
Ah,
didn't have enough battery and his fuel light was on, so he was pretty much done. But he'll be happy he's out of Q. He got out of Q1.
Meanwhile, he got through to Q1 in 15th, and he'll be starting 15th as long as Millsy gets a lap on the board. As Rob Kelly improves, goes into the 33s, but it's a 33.9 for the Haas. But his teammate Millsy around the final corner, what can they do to the leaderboard? And it puts them up in 7th on a 33.4. That now puts Ermine down in 9th. And Ermine could be facing a major elimination here in Q2.
Well, I'll keep an eye on Raza, who's on a lap right now. Is he going to gain any time? He is 600th up, so he actually put mine in P10. Finish that, but he does go fast his first sector, apparently.
Just seems on a lap there. We got Jock starting their final run.
Oh,
Oh, Hudson! They're out. They've lost it at the horseshoe. Spinning, not quite hitting the barriers, but they're going to be hitting 14th place, and they're going to be hitting the ground in anger, I'm sure. The Alpha Tauri is out in Q2, following from C. Davies, and that now means only 3 spots are left for elimination here, and nobody wants that prize. We got Jock down by 2/10. They've got to find, half a second to get through into Q3. Rob Kelly is, I think they're out here. That fuel light is going, and they've done everything they can. It's now down to Henkes, Raza, Lizard King, and Jock. Who can escape the drop zone, and who can guarantee their survival? Henkes now going through the turn 12 now. What's their split looking like? They are matching their time. They've got to find everything that they can in this final sector. Raza, we're going to go on board with, and Raza has made a mistake. Raza's not going to improve from 10th. So this is now down to what Henkes and Jock can do. Jock going through turn 16. Henkes going through turn 17. Keeps it under control very nicely now through the second to last corner. The Ferrari, he takes it too much. He's invalidated his run. Henkes is out.
Jock's has gone around at Horseshoe.
And Jock's gone as well. And Henkes, a 33.5. That would have put him in. That would have put him, I think, in 10th. It's a 33.5 something.
I can check, by the way. Let me have a look.
I think it was a 33.531, which would have put him in 9th.
It was a 33.581.
That would have seen him out by 1,000th of a second. And honestly, Henkes, I'm going to say this. Thank goodness you invalidated, because that would have been heartbreak for everyone, I'm sure. Henkes invalidating their final run, and they are out in Q2, and are following them in the drop zone. Rob Kelly, Jock, C. Davies, and Hudson on their first outing. But to get out of Q1, it's a respectable showing for the AlphaTauri driver. Just missed out actually by half a second.
I've got to put this out here to the tier ones. If you ignore RVT, right, if you ignore him, it's separated by 4/10 between P2 and P10.
Fine margins and all that, and you know that fine well from Tier 2 qualifying, which I will say, you don't want to miss that. It's Friday, 8 PM UK time. Tier 2's take on the Circuit of the Americas, and if it's anything like Tier 2 have had to offer this season, expect chaos, expect everything that you could possibly imagine, but rest assured it's going to be a banger of a race. Silversay Boy will probably agree, because that is his tier after all.
Don't expect me to win. I won't win. I'll never win in this league.
Don't say that.
I've had 4 chances and I've lost every single one of them. It's over. The dream's over.
Don't say that. There's still a new season coming up. New season, a
Put
new
me down
game.
to tier 3 and I'll win.
That's plenty. Yeah, put me up to tier 2. I'll sandbag the hell out of the field, and I'll try and help you out. But anyway, it's that time again. Q3, top 10. We got our pole position prediction. Who do you think is going to be, Twitch chat? And I'm just throw a question over to you here, Gary. Out of everyone, I think it's going to be a no-brainer who it's going to be. But regardless, who do you think is going to take possibly a shock pole position or an expected pole position?
I would love to see if Amos Drive can compete with RVT. That's my shot one. That's the one I want with my heart is Amos Drive, but with my head it's RVT.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with my head and my heart here. I'm gonna say,
I guess that would be RVT, aren't you?
nope, the driver we're currently on board with, our championship leader, adds in the Williams. I think it's gonna be theirs tonight, as Nigel Piddle has redeemed. Nominate a catchphrase to either myself or you, Silverside Boy,
He, he needs to say what the
which
catchphrase and who it is
being
for.
being Nigel Piddle.
This could go either really bad where we're banned, or won't be too bad.
No, it's gonna go two ways, and both of them are gonna put you 10 steps back. That's what I'm gonna say. I salute you, Mr. Speedy, for leaving the lead while we're currently broadcasting. Lovely. Anyway, well, I'll keep an eye on what Nigel redeems in the Twitch chat as we get underway for the final time in qualifying, and it's going to be Ermine to lead us over the line and begin the first run in Q3 as Nigel.
So
I think we'll save that for the interval in qualifying, Nigel. But
that is not getting said.
yeah,
That
like I
is
said,
never Nigel. Come on.
yeah, we didn't repeat it, but let's just say it's not nice what Nigel has. Nigel's put a lot of thought into what they've redeemed, and they're gonna get it rejected. Anyway, Ermine a 25-4 for the first sector, right back on track. We'll try, as I see you've definitely not took that message quite well, Silverside Boy, deleting it from
That's
existence.
not a catchphrase. It's like a dare.
What are you talking about? Anyway,
Like daring Jake to sing Peppa Pig on the stream. That's a good one. I don't have to,
that was
Nigel.
bad,
It's not
man.
a catchphrase.
Anyway, enough about children's television shows. We'll move on to qualifying with a real business end is arriving. Ermine a 102.9. That I'm correct is a 37.5 middle sector split for the AlphaTauri driver, and now through the horseshoe, the Devil's Corner on this track. Keep it well within on the control, and he does very well at that. Now through turn 19, careful to avoid the sausage curb, keep it within boundaries very nicely, and now the final corner for Ermine, very nicely done there, and short dash to the line, and it's a 33-4 that the field are going to be chasing. Next up is going to be Ali Ferrari, but they're going to start their lap. As I see, that's a Mercedes. Mad User has made a mistake around the horseshoe. Oh!
Mad user. What? His wing taken off.
Yeah,
I'd hit him.
I'd hit Mad User, but Mad User gets the penalty. But how on earth that wasn't an airplane crash, I will never know. But Ads and Mad User, for that matter, are both very, very lucky to get away with that one.
Is that a 5-place good penalty for Mad user, not
Yes, Mad User gets a 5-place penalty for that, which I think is a little bit unfair.
But he knows even better. Ads probably didn't even feel it.
He didn't even flinch. He just kept going.
Just kept going. It's like,
Yeah.
fuck it. You only live once.
We love the physics in this game. Oh, and now he invalidates his lap. Anyway, Lizard King going to be going for another push lap, and actually up in the time by half a tenth. We'll talk about savings and all that. Now, AMS Drive, let's see what they can do around the first sector. It's a 25-2 for the Alpine driver. Pretty much a certain that challenge. Bourbon on a 25-3. Everyone giving it their everything in qualifying. As I think that's Millsy who's had a moment.
No, that was at AMS Drive. He's had the biggest wobble I've ever seen out of the end of Sector 1.
Millsy in a 34-4, and that is the AlphaTauri of Ermine. Just actually, no, it's not. That is... I don't even know who that is. Oh no, it is Ermine. It's went back to the pits. We'll go with Bourbon down the back straight. We'll see what they have to offer in Q3. Sarah's actually waiting in the pits right now, so it gives you an idea on what they'll be going for. It'll be a 1-lap dash for RBT Sarah's. And yes, I did call them their full name, and I'm talking in third person. How lovely. But Bourbon around now in the horseshoe, seeing what they can do. And kept it quite nicely there as Leather King improves to 33.7. Ali Ferrari abandoning their lap and actually going into the pits. Actually, no, I don't even know who that is that's went in the pits. But Amos driving a 33.0 and Bourbon on a 32.9. And he's the first driver outside of the McLaren to get into the 32s.
Here comes Ali.
No, he's a little bit away.
I mean, he's on a lap.
Well, yeah, we knew what you meant. As we'll see what Ali Ferrari can do. Hopefully get pole. As Drobel has redeemed the commentator's catchphrase, you'll need to elaborate on that, Drobel. And of course, streaming on the Twitch channel. Just for watching the stream, you can gain channel points, and if you click the follow button, you will gain even more channel points. As Ali Ferrari invalidates going through the stadium. Not ideal there for the Red Bull driver.
Invalidated.
Nigel saying, sorry, I'm not having this. What do you mean you're not having this? Well, I'm saying you can earn more channel points.
I'm not saying your catchphrase now. It's not a catchphrase. And I'm sure if David was here, he would say the exact same thing as Ali Ferrari's decided he's going to gymkhana it. It's not. I can't refund you, Nigel. David's the only one who can do it. I can't do it.
Drobel saying that they bought it for it. Well, both of you wasted points then. I'm not elaborating, so I'm gonna leave it at that. And we know what this one's gonna do. Jake, and they're getting on the channel point act this evening. And they have it in for you tonight, Silver Boy. They have it in for you tonight.
Truth, Jake.
As
to be fair, I was nice to him. I just said his catchphrase was "I'm a snake" at the end of the stream. That's all I did for him yesterday.
Yeah, well, we know this one's going to do it. He probably had like 20 dares lined up at the end.
Yeah,
but
he
this,
probably has.
I think we're going to I think we're going to stick on board with the McLaren here. Because this is going to go two ways. This is going to be one of the best laps in FPRL history in qualifying, or this is going to be a bit of an egg in the face moment for Ceres. Let's see what the McLaren can do. As I think, Silver Boy, I'll hand the reins over to you for this lap. Just, it doesn't seem like you've done. Don't even give you enough of a chance to talk. So, now's your chance.
Well, I do, Nigel. I'm not saying it. There's within reason. Anyway, Jake's asked me, Gary, have you ever broken an expensive item? Would we count my bike as an expensive item? Because I have done that.
Oh, Ceres invalidates!
He's got enough time.
But he's going to have an older set of tyres.
He's still pushing. I don't know why. He's not turning his battery off. I don't know if he realises he's invalidated. Lad, you've invalidated!
That has opened the door wide open in qualifying. That one costly mistake for Ceres, and he's still going. I think he's going to look for that banker lap, and then recharge the battery as much as he can, because when he crosses the line, he'll have around 2 minutes to do another lap.
I think he's just trying to get a delta.
Yeah, well, I don't know what the plan is here at the McLaren, but that fuel light is on. He must have drained that tank completely. And this is disaster for Ceres. The driver who was a dead set for pole is going to find himself at the bottom of the standings here in Q3 unless a miracle goes his way. And
oh no, he's boxing.
That's it.
No, he's done. He's calling it. Maybe that was the only tyres he had.
Well, qualifying got a lot more interesting. Ceres could find himself starting last, at least last from the top 10. Or in other words, 10th.
I don't think he realised his batch. He didn't save his batches. There's a bit of kerfuffle coming out of the pit lane between, I think it's Ads and Blizzard King. One of them's just had to overtake the other. As Blizzard King lets him back through.
There we go. How nice. We got Raza on their outlap. Their one and only lap as well in Q3. And Ali Ferrari in desperate need. They get a lap on the board at a 25.3 for Ali, but that car is looking very, very slidey and floaty through the S's section, but that is nailed on in the exit. Brilliantly done there for the Red Bull driver, and has to look towards getting into the 32s here. the challenge for pole position, which currently Bourbon Boy has by only a tenth of a second to AMS Drive. He's going to start their lap in just a few moments' time. Ermine begins their final charge. Raza's on their lap, and following that will be Mad User as well. But now with all eyes currently on Ali Ferrari, the driver who has a reputation, I say, for being one of the best in the league. Going to have to prove why he's among the best in the league as he now goes through the stadium section up to the horseshoe for the final time in qualifying. It's all or nothing here for the Red Bull. Full charge, full pelt, full commitment for Ali Ferrari. Now through turn 18 and turn 19 for the final time. Throws it to the left, car sticks perfectly for him, and now through turn 20. This is looking to be a storming lap time, but how much of an advantage is it? It's a 32.7, and Ali Ferrari has gave himself a chance.
Millsy went to P4.
Brilliant effort from Millsy, that really is. But
So
now,
Ads will be the last man across the line. Was it to start his lap?
and now, it's over for now to AMS Drive, who's up by 0.2 of a second. This is going to be mightily close. AMS Drive and Ali Ferrari, certainly no stranger to one another, but looking to put another chapter in their FPRL rivalry. But I think really it's more of a rival, not even a rivalry, but more of a respect for the pair of them. Brilliant, brilliant competition.
Here comes
And
Raza.
But Raza up to the line, and it's a 4th place for Raza, which is a mighty effort for the Alpine team. And what can AMS Drive do? Up to the line, and he snatches pole from Ali Ferrari by 40 milliseconds. Now it's down to
Mad
Bourbon
User.
Boy, who's up by 0.2. Mad User gets into the 32s as well, puts himself now in 4th. Ermine, Ads, and Lizard King still yet to get the lap, and Millsy's done all he can do, and is now down in 6th. But Bourbon Boy could find himself on for pole here if he matches his final sector to his last lap. That is brilliantly done there for the Aston Martin. Now round the final corner for Bourbon Boy. What's this lap time? It's a
Wow.
32.6. At Ceres' expense, Bourbon Boy has took flight and he's took pole position. Unless anything else happens behind, we got Ads on their final and has to find a second to get on the front row. What can they do? It's a 32.7 and they take 3rd away from Ali Ferrari. Millsy's on they can do. Lizard King making a mistake. And Bourbon Boy takes their maiden pole position in FPRL at the Circuit of the Americas.
Right. AMS Drive is probably absolutely distraught. 755. Thinks he's got it, and then Bourbon just comes out of nowhere and just steals it off him. We all AMS Drive probably thought he stole it off Ali.
Wow,
Right.
that was certainly an eventful qualifying. And as mentioned, Ceres, who was the bookie's favourite to get pole, now down in 10th, so he's one to watch for the race. And is looking to, we got AMS Drive and Ads next to each other on, well, say next to each other on the grid, but on different rows of the grid. AMS Drive needing every point he can salvage at the expense of Ads. And so far, if it stays like this, that gap at the top is cut down, and also Mad User with that 5th place penalty. We completely forgot about that as well. So that now means Ceres.
It's gonna start 9th.
That now means Ceres will start 9th. Mad User down to 10th, which I think is a very, very unfair penalty. But we've completely forgot about that, and I think it's a little bit too late to talk about it, to be honest. So apologies to Mad User, but that's unfortunately how this way this game works. Not quite our game, but the game we play from Codemasters. As we get ready to go into our multiplayer lobby for our race, and Ali Ferrari I saw earlier say Inshallah for some rain, and it's looking fairly overcast here at Texas, that must be said.
Oh, hey a minute. Is it? I wonder if there's actually rain as we see the engineers doing their ritual T-pose salute. as always. As Nigel says, he's lost all respect
This
for me.
this could be a very, very interesting race.
Nigel, no, how much you tell me, it's not getting said. That's you were warned on it that you were not to take the Mickey out of it, and you've taken the Mickey out of it.
Yeah. Oh, there we go, Jake now in the act. Truth or dare to yours truly. I'm gonna regret this, but because we got time, Gary
I think
got a
you should do it
truth.
there.
I daring myself. Do your worst, Jake.
Please get him to sing the Scottish national anthem.
I don't even know it, mate. Honestly,
That's embarrassing.
I don't even know the
That's
anthem.
embarrassing.
I don't know. I know God Save the Queen or God Save the King, whatever it wants to be called as now, but I don't know O Flower of Scotland.
Well, you got time. You got time to, you know,
Ah, Ali's
search
loving
out.
it. Ali's loving it. Yeah, Nigel,
Oh,
I agree.
do you know the Rangers football anthem? I don't think they. Hang on a minute. Don't Rangers sing?
Elaborate in that,
You know,
Jake.
I don't. You know, your club's got. Does your club have a
We don't
anthem?
sing "You'll Never Walk Alone." No, we don't.
But I know you do some games. You actually do sing it. But I don't think it
No.
is your club anthem. I think it's
Well,
just.
the club. If you're talking about a club anthem, it's simply the best by Tina Turner. It needs to be changed. It's been there for way too long.
Hang on, let me just search up. Let's see. Let's see.
If you look up Rangers anthem, you'll get a whole load of songs. So put it that way. I don't repeat them in case someone's watching and we get banned. So
Uh,
right, Ali's saying please sing "God Save the King." Nope, no, it's not Ali. It's Jake. Nah, Jake, you had your question. You had your truther there, and that's done. So I'm not doing two dares for one redemption, mate. So pay up. Yes, that was no, well that's a bit rude. Well, you don't make your packed lunch for school tomorrow, young man.
apparently, I'm looking here. Rangers FC. Uh, at the end, they do not sing at the start of matches. The fans will stay after every match and will sing a song called "Follow Follow." It is a believed upon the rivalrous hymn "Follow On." You go. Is
Yeah.
there a little bit
Oh, there
of
you go.
history for your club?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, apparently most clubs will sing their club anthem
I
at the
asked
start
you
of
a
games. So,
question, not a dare. Well, maybe you should have told me then, Jake. So don't take control of a situation that you never had. That's all I'm gonna say on that. And don't ruin the mood before the race. Sing it now, Cruiser. Jake, you can play it in karaoke, pal. Apologies for that, ladies and gentlemen. But we can get hyped up. Try and build a bit of energy. Get hyped up for our tier one race. Which, as soon as I begin the hype, countdown begins at the top of the screen, and it's about time the mechanics get back into their garages. The ritual and rain checking has come to an end. None of which is in sight for now. And I'll
to be
throw
fair,
it
that's actually
out.
quite funny.
Well, not really me. I think it was David Lawface that done that
I
originally.
think that's quite funny. That's what I did in the teeth. If they were standing like horizontal,
Yeah,
not
if they
vertical,
were, then
their
it would be a
arms sticking
proper
out
rain
for the
check.
rain.
Yeah.
That's how old school F1 was.
Next time I'm
Stick
gonna
your
bring
arm
this on
out.
my
Yep, it's
friends.
raining.
Yeah. Right.
Good work, TJ. Good job. Good work.
Anyway, right, we'll get underway for our formation lap, and very, very rare we see. Do you see I would say we see an Aston Martin on pole, but for the last few races from memory, across all of our tiers actually, that has been somewhat of a repetitive theme. And so also repetitive is our tyre selection, which is very one-sided.
Go on, Razza. Show everyone why you picked them.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, Mag used to started. Oh, he did start. So I thought it was a 10-second then one. I thought I was wondering why. Uh, We're being called frauds because we won't do their dare and we won't do.
Yeah,
I won't say what nudge.
I think we'll just
I think
I think we'll just ignore
we'll,
we'll ignore that because they're clearly wanting
we'll
to be
just
an
ignore
attention
Jake and
seeker.
Nigel for a bit.
No, no,
Um,
no, Nigel's fine. Anyway, for our
Nigel's
formation
fine.
lap, yeah, Nigel's actually been somewhat tame. Well, I say been somewhat tame. That quote they asked you to say didn't be repeated. But still,
Yeah, but
we're midway through our formation lap. Let's run through the grid for tonight's race. I'll run up through the bottom 8, and you do the top 9. So, as
go on.
mentioned with the tyre choice, everyone on hards apart from a certain Raza Gamer. But we got Collateral Ads at the back, and Cormac as well, the 2 casualties in Q1. C. Davies up in P15 with our debutant Hudson in 14th, Jock in P13. Then we got Rob Kelly, Henkes and Mad User as we make our way into the top 10.
And then P9 we've got RBT who should have been on pole, but fortunately gave up quite early in qualifying. P8 is Lizzie King, good qualifying for the pressure Ferrari driver. P7 is Ermine, great qualifying for the AlphaTauri. P6 is Millsy in the Haas. P5 is Raza Gamer, who is going to start up in the top 5 along with his teammate. P4 is Ali Ferrari. P3 is our championship leader of Ads. P2 is the one and only Amos Drive. And on pole for his first ever FPRL pole is Bourbon Boy 64.
Nice one, Codemasters.
We got a nose count. Well, at least we can see the lights.
Well, I suppose that's one way.
I'm
Oh,
not
for
doing my
God's
wiping
sake!
thing.
Right, I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to spectate ads here as I hand over to Silverside Boy for a special ranking and race start.
Nah, that was a bit early.
Yeah, you're a little bit early here, but away we go. And Bourbon Boy got bogged down.
Win.
We got bogged down with AMS Drive. He's up to turn 1 and he takes the lead at this race.
Oh,
There's
Bourbon's in it.
contact! Ads has hit
out.
Bourbon Boy! Oh no!
Oh my god, it's carnage.
Chaos at turn 1. And Ali Ferrari's been caught up too, along with Ermine. And Lizard King's been in the action as well, and somehow no safety car. Bourbon Boy, from a highs of qualifying to the top of the hill, and is now hit rock bottom in the race. Not even 500 meters, and he's out in the opening exchanges. But AMS Drive has got the start he needed and has got a 1.2 second lead already over Ads, who might be carrying front wing damage from that collision with Bourbon Boy and potentially meeting with the stewards to follow as well. Mad User in third, Raza up 1 place to 4th, albeit at the expense of Bourbon Boy. Will jump on board with the Alpine driver, chasing down Mad Users at a pretty solid start from 10th up to 3rd, avoiding all of the chaos at the opening corner, and it's just parted like the sea for Mad User, and he's up now into P3.
Been a good start between the two Alpha Romeo boys, down from P15 and P17. Clatowads is up 7. He's up to 10th, and Collins just dropped 2 places. He's fighting away with Comet and Jock.
Oh, careful.
Yeah. Yeah, that was. I don't know how to say, but not known for tier 1 and for messy starts. But yeah, that was very messy, and poor Bourbon's paid the price.
Yeah, I think he's paid a lot more than a price. He's paid a toll, to be honest. As Lizard King into the pits, that's got to be for a front wing change, I believe, with a collision on either Ermine or Ali Ferrari at the start, is Jock all over the back of Cormac, who's been a pretty solid start, and as well Collateral Ads up into the point right behind the debutant of JJ Hudson in the AlphaTauri. And still as well for Hudson up in 9th. Very strong start as well for themselves, as we actually have a look at the positions graphic very quickly, and we'll see certainly a whole wall of green between the top 13, and the biggest winners at the start, to no one's surprise, is Collateral Ads and Mad User, both up 7 places. Rob Kelly up 6 places to P6. Ceres making a few places up to 7th and is right behind the back of the Haas driver, which will jump up to that fight and see the McLaren, who had all the qualifying pace, got bogged down in Q3 and is going to be in a little bit of a recovery drive for the remainder of this 28 lap race, which are only 2.5 laps in. This is going to be a very long race for the remainder of the evening. And I think we'll look at that Truth or Dare Redemption in just a few moments, as I think now the top two are really starting to enter a battle here, and this isn't a battle for a victory, this could be a battle for a championship.
Yeah, it looks like AMS Drive did get 1 second in front, but big thing is Ads has used 57% of his battery already. AMS Drive still sitting on a nice 70%.
Certainly holding the battery advantage, and only 4/10 of a second covering the top two. Madus are getting a little bit detached here. He'll be under pressure from Raza Gamer, who could play an essential part in this race if he sticks up to the back of the Williams up in second place, and could really be a right hand man to his teammate. And as well, the Haas duo getting into this fight as well for a podium potentially. Millsy and Rob Kelly, a brilliant start for the pair of them, both making gains. We got Henke's a bit of a distant 8th, 3 seconds behind Serres, but still he's out of DRS range from Hudson. And Henke's, he can just run his own race, he should be okay for the remainder of the evening, as we'll jump back to Ad. See him draining that DRS, not using his battery though, which he's got to try and I believe stock up for around 4 laps, but stick to the back of AMS Drive, which is easier said than done. And Madus are starting to slowly creep in to that 1 second margin, now 1.1 seconds. He's got to stay within that DRS range, otherwise Raza will be all over him like a bad rash as we make our way towards lap 4 and towards the horseshoe. Adds now 3/10, 2/10 behind AMS Drive, and I think AMS Drive here is just starting to manage his own race. He's not worried about that Williams behind him.
But I got to point out RBT all over the back of that Haas now. Only 2 tenths, so we could see a move into turn 1 here. It's already a move before turn 1.
Oh,
He's already got the traction.
Yeah, going.
Rob Kerry didn't.
Oh, he's fighting back though.
Rob Kerry didn't have DRS. That's why it looked so easy.
Well, going, and gone, and Serres has put himself up in 6th, 1.4 now behind, but Rob isn't backing down here. He's going to stick with them through the S's section, but you're never getting by here unless you're in cold tyres, to be honest, which I don't expect to happen until around lap 16, lap 17 for these pit stops. And now Serres starting to get back within the DRS range of Millsy, but Rob Kelly, he's stuck within the DRS range of that McLaren, and will actually leave them to their own little bite, to their own little fight here. But right now, Ads is chewing at the bit. He's desperate to fight against the AMS Drive, using that DRS. He's gaining in the Alpine as he now looks to the inside here at turn 12. He's just a bit too far back on the brakes. AMS Drive has just enough of a barrier in hand to defend. Raza all over the back of Madus are action everywhere within the top 6, and further back a little bit of action here between Jock and Cormac in towards turn 12. Cormac defending against the Williams, and Jock now, after getting by Ermine, is now all over the back of the McLaren, from one McLaren to another. Serres fighting against Rob Kelly, and Cormac's gone! He's dropped it where his teammate done in qualifying, and that's now put him down in 14th, and as well unnoticed actually. Lizard King and Ali Ferrari making a pit stop, no doubt for a new front wing, and possibly for tyres, I would say tyres to go to the end, but both of them started, actually, Ali...
On hard.
Yeah,
Ali boxed again. Actually, no, Ali didn't box. No, Ali didn't box. Look, he's got front end plate damage. He's not boxing. He's holding it for a safety car. He's going to hold it for a safety car, and Raza is now going to try and play right hand here to his teammate. He's got by Mad User, but further up ahead, Ads is pressuring AMS Drive here. But we've seen as well from Singapore how composed AMS Drive can be under these situations, where himself and Sam Geno went at it, and it was Sam that cracked first in that fight. Ads and AMS Drive, as mentioned, these two, the top two in the championship, and every point that these two can gain over one another is going to be essential in this run-in. And now it's Ads with the DRS 4/10 behind, but again he's not using that battery, whereas AMS Drive isn't either. So that leads me to think maybe potentially a lower front wing and lower wing setup, as Cormac's dropped it at turn 10, and we've got a virtual safety car. And that's not going to help Ali or Lizard King unless it gets upgraded, which it does. And Ali Ferrari... Let's just check if it's okay.
Fair enough, I respect that. We're all friends here in FPRL. But now, can Raza Gamer go to the end?
but more trouble. He's going to have to double stack.
I don't think they will. I think all the hard compound runners are going to stay out. This is about what Raza is going to do and can do. If he boxes, he can. I think he can go to the end, which he's not
Not
going to.
boxing.
He
He's
is.
boxing. Big
So,
call.
and Raza is committed to the end.
Oh, ads, what have you done?
Well, it's not quite the 3-second penalty, but collateral adds. That's not
It's more
what
than
needed.
That's like a 20-second. He's boxing, ads is. And a lot of other people are.
There's a few changes in the field, so obviously, I'm seeing here. Oh, Henke's seen a front wing change.
Maybe he's had damage since the start and he's just been driving through it.
And certainly nursing through the pain here, and Ali Ferrari certainly been nursing through a lot of pain as well, and Lizard King, he's staying out as well. That, I think, is a bit of a surprise. I was expecting Lizard King to go to the end.
Yeah, Ali Ferrari's doing a smart thing. He's got his safety car. He's now on set of mediums. Bong River in front when he gets going, even though this just game lag. He's got a new front wing, so he should be quicker now. So Ali really hasn't lost him. Ali's actually just gained like 20 odd seconds on everyone.
Fair enough. And as well, looking in the chat here, Jake being very generous with Twitch sub donations, giving one to Horizon 40 or Verizon for having a few races under his belt, and another gifted sub to Imagine Wagons. I still don't know who that.
That is such a great. That's such a great username.
It's clever.
It's very good pun for Imagine Dragons. We all know Imagine Dragons are.
Fair enough. Well, no, they ain't young, dumb and broke, so there you go. But still, Jake, I respect the generosity and we appreciate that FPRL. Every donation, every subscription goes a long way to the growth
goes
of
into
the channel.
Scotsman's pocket.
It helps with the donations of the channel and helps out with the growth of the channel, aka the bank account
Of Scotsman.
He
puts money.
He didn't have to say that.
Scotsman puts it back into the league. Don't you worry. He puts it back into the medals and.
He puts it in the trust
awards. Fund. Yeah, he puts it in the. one of my friends who's watching, who's not in the league, knows Scotsman, and says, "Oh, he's put it in the retirement fund."
Okay.
Can't be saying that.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Of course, I think Scott's been having a few weeks away.
Well, he's actually doing motocross. He's doing motocross at the moment. Really interested in what he's doing.
Absolutely. Well, I suppose as well, Scotsman, if you are watching at some point, keep up with the motocross and keep us updated as well with any future results, because at least I, for one, I'm very interested to see how that goes. Nigel saying, and yet you still can't say our catchphrase or dares. I'm not gonna get in depth. We'll
no
ignore
offense.
that.
No offense. Nigel's catchphrase was inappropriate, and he's been told. Right.
Well,
Jake's one was like. I don't know if Jake realizes.
It was a dare on top of a dare.
Yeah, I think getting a Scots person to sing about "God Save the King" is a little bit of a.
I do it.
Subject.
I do it every football game I go to in the 90th minute. So hell.
Yeah, well, some place in Scotland, it's kind of a.
If you couldn't tell, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a Glasgow Rangers fan. That answers that.
I'll never make the mistake of saying Celtic. Never.
Yeah, you know
And
better.
there's David. David's in chat. I know David's
Up the lolly.
Not my king. There he is. David
David.
How you feeling, David? Safety car is in this lap.
By the way, Jake has redeemed the safety car question and still hasn't asked a question. No doubt he'll have a dare instead of a question.
David said he's feeling shit.
My safety car question is, how are you feeling for the new game?
Excited.
I'm not holding out hope.
Oh.
It's going to be the same thing, I know it. Yeah, we're still going to buy it, we're still going to play it.
Well, you'll be able to find out this weekend, Mr. I got the beta code.
No, me, I won't even play it. I'll just have
You
it. I'll
you
just have it to
bloody
have
well
it.
will. Well, I don't have it. You better play it.
Aye, aye, sir.
You're
Anyway,
disappointed.
safety car is in the pits at the end of this lap.
Oh.
Nigel saying, okay, well, that's plenty. Anyway, we're back on the way as Clashel Ads is straight in the pits to serve that drive-through. That, I think, is a very, very wise decision. It must be said, as Clashel Ads is doing a fold in the
He's not
field.
going to be happy. He's not going to be happy because he can't serve his drive-through under the first lap. He has to do a full lap before he can serve his drive-through.
The more you know.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Safety car for Clashel
Yeah,
Ads, please.
because the safety car was still technically going down the pit lane, and
Oh.
he can't do that.
Yeah, that's...
He's probably fuming right now.
I think that's rather compounded the mood for the Alpha Romeo team, as Tidjum has said that he's got a beta code at the ready, and a good evening to Monkey Boy Kurt. Evening, boys. Good evening
Everyone's
to you
got
as well.
one.
Hey, look. Maybe you should have put your name down for it.
I did. I didn't get one.
Clearly you didn't.
Luck of the draw. It's luck of the draw, to be honest. It's luck
Yeah,
of the
because
draw.
everyone's getting one and you're not. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we've got plenty of fights here in the midfield, and we completely missed all of them, but Hudson and Raz are going at it. Now through turn 13 and turn 14, Hudson to the inside now. For turn 16, parks it nicely ahead of Razagamer and gets the move done. Now Jock and Millsy going through the horseshoe. Jock backs out of that one, and Millsy is now back up into 6th, now right behind his teammate Rob Kelly's got a yellow flag. Who is it? It's Lizard King.
Collins out.
Oh no!
And he's collided with Lizard King.
And that's the safety car and Clash Lads is going to be human. He has, I think. Where is he actually? Oh no, that's on the outside. How?
Oh, Collins must have dropped it to avoiding Lizard King.
Yeah, no, I think Lizard King spun and he's hit him. Because you can see there from the tyre
I
line.
just want to point out, Monkey Boy, can you, in the nicest word, bugger off and go back to whatever you're doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, Monkey Boy Kurt has joined the Twitch stream. Of course, all races streamed on twitch.tv/FP Racing League. If you're watching this on the YouTube streams, Monkey Boy Kurt is just joined and has said, and I quote, "Do we need any retirements today? Spice it up."
He did this on Sunday as well, twice. He was like, we could really do a safety car. Bang, someone's like goes, oh, well,
Yeah.
And then the next one was, we need another safety. Bang, another safety car.
And Monkey Boy Kurt is then followed with that by saying, "That's my fault." At least they're honest with their mistakes.
Bye, lads. Yeah, Monkey. I'm gonna say, I'm not sitting in a night with you tomorrow. Right now, you are bad luck. Monkey's probably at work going, I'm just gonna check in. Oh, that'd be really fun. So, well, I'll go back to work now.
Okay.
I'll go back to work now.
Do you know what this is? This is Monkey Boy Kurt getting back at C Davies for what he did to MK Dons. That's what that is.
Just forgot about that.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I think so. I think that's balanced the books at the Alfa Romeo team.
Oh. I just knew he hit the back of his good old nemesis, Ali Ferrari. Not Garrett. Jake says, choose your own catchphrase. Okay, it's your boy. There you go. That's my catchphrase.
Hey.
I say it every time on the industry.
Nice. And I don't
That's really cringy.
Well, the only catchphrase that I've got is for when we're actually finishing the stream. As Rob is in the pits, that's going to be for a one-stop. And Clash Lads, that's probably you, mate. I don't want a set of mediums. Actually, no, don't want a set of hards. And then serve your drive-through, please. Please.
No.
Any sense here, lads?
It's not. It's going on another set of tyres.
I forgot. Davis told you for saying that's not your catchphrase, Jerry. For saying it's your boy.
It is.
Yeah, and
it's now. He's got to do the first lap of the safety car restart. Then he can serve it.
Yeah, and David, a friendly reminder that Collateral Ads still has a drive-through penalty to serve after 6
Do you know what?
laps
I
of
don't
getting
want
one.
to. I don't want to. By the way, just to let you know, he hasn't actually got a 3 second penalty yet. So the
I
the thing
mean,
hasn't happened yet.
well, Jake's been very generous with the Twitch sub donations, giving one to Sydney, or Sidoney.
Or
I think,
we call him Sid.
yeah, I think Sid is just a little bit more clearer and I think a bit better to be honest, because it'll be a tongue twister. So, Sid, welcome to the subscription crew. Thank you very much, and be sure to enjoy all of our channel emotes to the best of your abilities. I know they're the most obscure Twitch emotes possible, but they're there if you need them. Anyway, and by the way, we're only 10 laps into this race. As, oh, there we got Crackles. Lovely.
Whose is it? Who is it? Quickly, David or Jake? It's probably yours. If it's anything,
It's always mine. Death
it's
taxes and a
Chris.
death
It's
taxes
Chris.
and a messed up microphone.
Can we get a GoFundMe page to get Chris a new microphone? We need to up our game. Like myself, can I up my game for streaming? I'm going to hopefully get a computer and do some.
And Jake with the final gifted sub of the day goes to Monkey Boy Kirk,
Radical Radicals
which
put Newcastle running right in the last 8 minutes of injury time, 2 goals in three. Is it
I
three
think that's
seconds or
meant to be
3 minutes?
surely meant to be 3 minutes, but fair play Newcastle, they are doing very, very well. Much like AMS Drive, we get underway for the second time this evening, and ads still heckling the Alpine, but pit stops are to arrive in just a few moments' time. And David said it's shocking that Monkey Boy Kurt has not been subscribed originally. Um, I think I think I don't think he wants to show his face anymore after the excursions of the safety car. But still, is the order as you were at the end of lap 10. AMS Drive adds mad user Milsey, and Ceres now finds himself up in 5th. This is now about what others can do. As Raz has dropped it, he's came together with someone? No, he's just dropped it on his own. And what was a good start to the race for Raza has quickly fell apart.
Well, yeah, I don't think he really cares very much. His beloved Man City have got through to Champions League final.
However, AMS Drive is looking over his shoulder here. Ads is on the charge, but AMS Drive is draining his battery. Ads is not, which is very, very surprising. But AMS Drive knows he has to defend and keep Ads behind him before the pit stops, which is exactly what he's going to do. Meanwhile, further back, Ceres going very wide there at the exit of turn 12. Hudson now up in 6th, fighting away with Jock, and further back we got Ermine and Henkes going at it through the stadium, and Ermine now up into 8th on those newer set of medium tyres, and now arriving on the scene is Ali Ferrari on his a little bit of recovery drive here. On 5 lap old mediums, will have to do something to stretch these to the end if he can, and that down the inside and down into the horseshoe around the outside for turn 19. If he makes this stick, that is a fantastic move for the Red Bull. It was a bit wider, but he keeps it under control, and Ali Ferrari brilliantly done there, and he's up now to 9th.
Lads can serve his drive through.
Finally get rid of it after he's actually had that drive through for half of this race. That's how bad that's been.
he's still not gonna be that far behind. Well, he is. That's a lie. Oh
Well,
dear, it's gone bad to worse.
all it takes is one more safety car and he's back in this race. Meanwhile, I think didn't have a quick mention here to Hudson as Ceres picks up the first time penalty of the race. But as well, Hudson doing very well here on their debut, up in 6th, might be on for something here if he can stretch these tyres to the end. But 6 laps currently on mediums he'll have to do, if I'm correct, 22 laps on a set of medium tyres, which might be a bit of a stretch, but also might not be impossible. It's further back their teammate Ermine battling away with Jock, and a bit of a mismatch there. Ermine now by the Williams and is up now into 7th.
trying to see if anything. To be fair, Catalans isn't that far. He's only about 8 seconds behind. So if there's another safety car, he might be able to just go straight back onto his hards.
Oh, Ceres has dropped
Oh,
it! He's dropped it at the
well,
penultimate corner, and it's went from bad to worse for the McLaren.
got no damage, so he's okay. Oh,
He's got a bit of a twitch there, but Millsy further back. Well, we were distracted by the McLaren. Millsy to the inside of Madusa into turn one. Madusa looking for the cut back, and there's the guarantee. It was a matter of time. Sorry about that, Clatter lads. I know it's not what you want to hear. But Millsy now up to third, and this race here could get very, very interesting here. Millsy on medium tyres, but 7 laps. AMS Drive and Ads have yet to make their pit stop, but you best bet they'll be a lot quicker than Millsy if he has to stretch these tyres to the end, which I don't think he will.
I'll keep an eye on what's going on in the midfield pack because you've still got Hudson and Ermine, both the Alpha Tauris behind each other.
We were going to look at Rob
Colin.
Kelly there, but here comes Ads. He's got the DRS, he's got the outside line in towards turn 12. This is his first proper challenge here in the MS Drive, and MS Drive has said, is that all you've got? Well, it's not enough. He still holds the lead here as the Alpine driver, but Ads is getting ever closer now around the outside in towards turn 16 and turn 17. He's going to try and look for a switchback here on the exit. He gets the switchback done. AMS Drive now to the inside here for the horseshoe. They're committed. Still wheel to wheel around the outside. Ads is looking. He's still hunting. And then to the inside for turn 19. That is a fantastic move. He touched wheels there. Going around the second to last corner. And now Mills is in the scene. But Ads, he's got it done. He takes the lead. Starting lap 14. And now he's just got the DRS. And Millsy's now in the scene here with the fighting. Millsy can find himself having a look here for the lead into what's turn one. He's going to look down the inside, but he's just not close enough. Ads hold strong, and AMS Drive now around the exit of turn one, but Millsy's got up to second here, and AMS Drive down 2 places in a matter of as many corners. Oh, let's go for the back. Oh no!
He's had a moment, he had a massive wobble, and he's still in the race, but without no front wing.
Could have been worse, but it could have been a whole lot better for Lizard King. And he's got company with collateral ads at the back. So, companions and all that, but still, AMS Drive here. This is going to be a battle of the pit stops, I feel, because I don't think Millsy's going to get these tires to the end. It's going to be a yellow flag. It's Ceres again.
And he's got no
lost
front
his front
wing
wing.
now.
Oh, it's went from bad to worse for Ceres. It's went from bad to worse, and how much worse can it get, to be honest. But now, Ermine, battling with Jock in there. Where is Rob Kelly? There is Robber. Actually, Ermine's pulled a very, very big gap there between Rob Kelly and Jock, I think, with their fighting. As now Ermine looking for a move here on Ali Ferrari. Is he going to send one down the inside into the stadium? No, he's not. This little group here is now all of a sudden in very close proximity here. And Rob Kelly is actually on the freshest tyres of everyone in the top 10. He's on 4-lap-old mediums. Everyone is either on 8-lap-old mediums or 13-lap-old hards. And those currently on the hard compound tyre haven't made a pit stop yet.
And I think AMS Drive is starting to struggle because he's starting to fall away from Millsy and Ads. Ferrari up the inside of, well, on the outside, sorry.
Then you got the overtake done there. Got the overtake done there, but Hudson fighting back, and he was showing Ali Ferrari he's not going to be a pushover. And Ali Ferrari he's not giving up this fight, but he's going to have to wait a little bit longer for that overtake, as Lizard King has retired from the session in the pits, along with Ceres, and that has compounded the mood for the McLaren camp. A brilliant start and a painful ending for Ceres. They are out on lap 15 along with Lizard King. 5 casualties in this race as Ali Ferrari down the inside at turn 11. Who's going to get the better exit? The pair of them. This is going to come down to the battle of the DRS, but Hudson has the better ERS, 25%, playing 8%, and he's got lesser wings. And Millsy down the inside of Ads, but fighting everywhere across the field. Millsy gets the move done and takes the lead. Mad User now against AMS Drive to the inside. Goes AMS Drive trying to fight back here against the Mercedes. But AMS Drive now to the outside here for the stadium section. Mad User now down the inside. Ali's going to send it on Hudson. He's got to get this move done, but the tighter line, it's not going to work. Hudson keeps it ahead. And now Ermine's looming large behind the Red Bull. Everywhere you look, there's an overtake or an attempt at an overtake. This is incredible from Tier 1.
I was going to look for an inside jab at the final corner.
Oh, he's got him, I say. Yes, he has. He runs him a bit wide there, shuts the door. But Ali Ferrari finally gets his man, and he's up now into 5th. But Hudson's going to fight back in towards turn 1 with the better ERS levels. He breaks a little bit later, forces Ali around
Oh
the
my
outside.
God.
But here comes Ermine with 3 wide. Don't master step as a good angle. Now it's the Alpha Tauris fighting with each other. Ermine, Hudson, it's Hudson and Ermine. Ali Ferrari loses out to Ermine. And that was fantastic racing. It's Ali Ferrari
Contact!
and Ermine have touched. Oh no.
No. Oh dear, it's gone. It's happened again.
And they're still wheel to wheel live after a collision. That is something. But it
And
was
they've
bound to boil over. And Hudson.
Ermine's got damage.
Hudson somehow appearing from that unscathed. How he's done that, I don't know, but that was very sensibly done there from the Alpha Tauri driver. And his teammate Ermine coming a tropper with Ali Ferrari, Raza Gamer as well in 9th, now a very distant 9th place from everyone. But with the fighting here for 3rd, it's now meant Millsy and Ads have pulled a 2.7 second lead over Mad User, who now runs in 3rd. AMS driving now down in 4th, and Hudson's starting to catch up to the back of the Alpine. Meanwhile, Ali Ferrari and Ermine haven't learned their lesson, it seems, but Ali gets the move done and is up now into 10th. Or back up into 10th as Ermine is nursing home a front wing, as Hudson has got a time penalty. Millsy pulls the trigger, Mad User in, and also in comes AMS Drive. Hudson is going to continue, but Ads will continue as well, and this is going to be critical here for the Williams. Can he make the overcut work? And where is Millsy going to appear? He's leaving the pit lane now as Ali Ferrari's retired in the pits, and that is game over for the Red Bull team. And Millsy's going to find himself in very clear air. He's got around 8 seconds between himself and Raza Gamer after his tyres will warm up, and has a 3-second lead over Mad User. And now, Ads, if we have a look at the leader graphic, what was it? It was around 20 seconds between a pit, well, roughly for a pit stop at this track. That gap is currently 18.3 seconds. It's now, yep, 18.3 seconds.
It's probably about 19 seconds that you lose around here in the stops.
And I think if you're Ads here, you've got to pit this lap to try and cover that off.
He's going to have the better tyres. Well, nah, because Millsy did a hard, came off his hard at the beginning, went to mediums, and now he's got another medium. So there's not going to be any tyre advantage from Millsy. Millsy's doing a bold 2-stop strategy.
I think it was really helped though by the initial safety car at the start of the race on lap 4, I think. As surely Ads is going to round the penultimate corner and is going to pit this lap. Indeed, he's going to. He's in the pits, and this is going to be the best pit stop of this Williams team's life, to be honest, to keep him ahead, or get him ahead of Millsy. Meanwhile, Rob is going to continue for another lap. Henkes is in the pits. Hudson continues for another lap, gambling on that safety car. Jock goes on with his teammate in the pits. Raza goes on, Henkes is in the pits, and where is Millsy going to appear? He's just crossing. He's just crossing the start line now. It's going to be very tight here. We're going to jump on board if we can with Ads, but it's not going to be possible. Millsy will jump on board the broadcaster, and Millsy has the jump on the Williams, and he maintains his lead.
Yeah, that's I think Ads may lose a little bit of time here on the initial warm-up, but once his tyres warm up, he should be able to push it.
Can be a very
because Millsy was on a set of mediums in the last stint, so he did have the advantage, but now Ads is on the same tyre. We should see what the pace difference between the two actually is now they're on the same tyre.
I think we'll have a look at our pit stop graphic, because Jock, currently up in 3rd, has not made his pit stop yet. So that now means that currently Raza Gamer is a net P3, and he's on 12 lap old hards. He can go to the end, I feel. If we can get the tyre graphic, there we go. Yep, 12 lap old hards. I think Raza can go to the end from here. And this is now going to be about how much fighting is Millsy and Ads going to have, but can they catch up quick enough to the Alpine?
Well, Ads is already back in the DRS, so it shows that Ads may be quicker on these tyres compared to Millsy.
As Ads' teammate Jock enters the pits for his one and only pit stop and a fresh set of mediums. From the Williams crew, servicing Jock, and away he goes. Hudson leaving the pits as well, going to find himself out behind Henkes, I think. Down in 8th, yep, we see there. Actually, very, very tight there on exit, but Henkes just has enough to get by Hudson, and Hudson on a 3-second time penalty, but will have fresher tyres if he can try and catch up. An AMS driver with a time penalty, that's not going to help his cause. For 5th in his fight with Mad User, he's 2 seconds behind the Mercedes, but that 3-second penalty has put pay to that. Meanwhile, Ads and Millsy, that gap 4/10 of a second, but that gap between Millsy and Razadema, we can see him there from the camera shot, is 3 seconds. But how much fighting are these two going to do? This is going to possibly determine this race here. Millsy and Ads down the back straight, Millsy to the inside, Ads going to look for a move around the outside brakes a lot later than the Haas, and Millsy shuts the door promptly and Ads his face there, saying you're not getting by me that easily, you're going to have to work for this one here.
He's got to find a space to go for it.
Oh, he taps him a little bit. Just keeps up the
Oh,
control
there's a
though.
friendly nudges. Just letting him know he's still there.
I don't think he needs a reminder, does Millsy, but still, these two have been putting on a fantastic performance of racing this evening, and at a bit of a twitch there, showing how much he's pushing there, and as well, actually, Rob Kelly leading the way by 7.3 seconds as Ads sets the fastest lap. Rob getting a bit of camera time, and this is going to be Ads' chance. He's now looking around the outside again, in towards turn 1, breaking that a little bit later, looking for the cutback, but Millsy, that is brilliantly done there, parking it just in front of the Williams driver and not allowing him to turn in. And Millsy putting on a brilliant defensive display here against Ads, and that ERS light for Ads is starting to flash, whereas Millsy has 30%. But the more these two fight, Mad User is starting to catch up to them. That gap, 2.5 seconds. But as I was going to mention here, Rob Kelly, I think, is committed to the end.
Bold strategy, will his tyres hold out?
He's got to manage another 8 laps on these tyres.
Well, let's have a look at his tyres in the graphic. There is no... got a faint little line so
Ads is going
far.
for it. Now he's got the inside line in towards turn 12. It's going to be a third time's lucky here, I think, for Ads. He's got it done. He runs Millsy almost off the track, but Millsy now to the inside in towards the stadium. Just about to avoid contact. Very, very close here from the pair of them. Millsy do a cutback. Send it up the inside in towards the stadium. That is a fantastic response from the Haas driver.
That's... I don't think Ads will be too impressed about that. He had to really slam on the brakes when he realised that Millsy had dived it.
But with all this fighting, that gap, that was, I believe, 3 seconds between Raza and Millsy in the space of 2 laps. That's only came down by a second, and the gap between Millsy and Rob Kelly is 9.6. Rob Kelly could be on here for a very unlikely victory. But
it's going to be the second Haas in the road that's going to do this.
He's got to manage his tyres though. He's on 11 lap old mediums and he's got 8 laps to go. The tyres will be streaming at the end.
Yeah, but Raz's tyres are going to be also in the same state.
We all know how the hards are in this game though.
I think hards can do maximum maybe 22 laps. So it's going to be close if Raz's tyres are going to make it. But he could also do Rob Kelly a favour here, as we see Ads and Millsy go around for ding ding round 3.
Oh, did he touch? He just avoided it, and Ads finally gets the move done. But can he make it stick in towards the stadium? Millsy going to look for the response here, and I think it's not quite going to be deja vu here unless he gets an almighty send. And no, it's not. Ads finally gets his man at the 3rd lap of trying. Ads is now back into the podium places But what a battle these two have given us this evening.
Yeah, the only problem now that Ads has had to use all his battery to try and get past. He's not what he wanted. It's now going to be hard to get past Raza, who has 40% battery.
With those fresher medium compound tyres, Ads is on 4 lap old mediums, Raz is on 16 lap old hards. He'll catch him up instantly through his SS section, which we see is that gap currently is already borderline 1 second. That gap's going to be cut down absolute. I've completely tripped over my words there, but that gap's going to be cut down by quite a bit. And I see already
He got there eventually.
yeah, he's already within DRS range. He's now 8 tenths, 7 tenths. He's gained nearly half of that time back in that one sector alone. This is going to be, I think, a showdown between Rob and Az. As I think Raza, he knows his fight. He's not. I think Raza is going to give him a fight too hard there. But actually, he's not really gaining much time here. His ads
He's
Raza's
not giving him the toe. That's what he's doing.
Well, he's certainly fighting this one as Raza Gamer, but sometimes it's for the better if you just let the faster driver through.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, it is for a podium, and I'm pretty sure.
Oh my word!
I'm just traction out of that corner.
Yeah, absolutely. As we see
yeah, there
him.
it is.
Oh my! Wow.
God.
That is how
I
you
want to say
overtake.
something. They decided to show who had the biggest guts, and I think Ads has taken that.
Yeah, Ads definitely had the bigger set there. 6.7 seconds between Ads and Rob Kelly with 6 laps left to go at the Circuit of the Americas. Ads, we've seen how quickly he can catch up around this track, but it's one thing to catch, it's another thing to pass, as he found that out very much with Millsy, who's now stuck behind Raza Gamer, and the longer he's behind Raza Gamer, the more he's going to struggle to keep up with Ads, as that gap now is 1.2 seconds between Millsy and Ads as they approach the end of the SS section. This is about if Raza can keep up with Ads, or Millsy can get by Raza Gamer and keep within DRS range of Ads. That gap now 6.4 seconds between Rob Kelly and Ads, who Rob has had a very quiet race this evening, but could be on for something phenomenal.
Yeah, just like his fellow Haas driver yesterday, Stiffmeister, just nailing the strategy. Just was in a league of his own all race. I think Rob's doing exactly the same thing. He's probably going to be letting off every corner, probably 2 seconds of lap slower than his pass. There's Ads gets another time pen. He hasn't gone on softs. Fastest lap attempt for Ads. Yeah, Rob is really, really taking it easy now through every corner. Just watching on board with him.
That gap's really starting to get cut down there. Ads has gained a second on that lap. That gap, 5.6, and we've got 5 laps to go. This is going to be very, very tight here to the end. And as well, while we were going through that, Jock and Hudson having a bit of a fight there for 8th place. We just saw there on stream. And Hudson going to get points here in his debut outing. A brilliant showing for the debutant. And Jock now up in 8th place, a couple more points for his championship standings, as now Millsy is really starting to pressure Raza Gamer. 5 laps to go. Raza Gamer pitted on lap 6 for a set of hards to go to the end. At the first safety car, Raza Gamer has been committed from there, and that has been their game plan, which so far could see them finish in 5th, as now Raza pulling over to the right hand side. He's desperate to not give any slipstream. He's weaving down the back straight, but Millsy, he's just too superior in a straight line. DRS for the Haas, and Millsy in towards turn 12, gets in front of Raza Gamer and is now back into the podium places. But his fight now is with Ads is 1.8 seconds. He's got a lot of work to do and not a lot of time to do it.
Yeah, Ads has got to hope that Millsy doesn't catch up. Fish sticks are forever stats and gaps guy who's in the timing area for us has told us that Ads has already gained a second over Rob Kelly in just 1 lap.
It's more than that. It's 1.8 seconds he's gained in that lap. Tell a lie, 2 seconds he's gained to Rob Kelly. And he keeps that up, he'll be on the back of that Haas for the
Pulling away
final
from Millsy
lap.
as well.
I know, 2.1 seconds from Millsy. Ads is absolutely flying. He wants this victory and he wants as much of a gap as he can take to Miami, where potentially the championship can be crowned in the Sunshine State. But
He could get crowned in the sprint. Remember, it's a sprint round next week.
Absolutely.
What more points available?
As mentioned at the start of the stream, he'll need a gap of 52 points or greater as collateral ads. It's not been their night. Yeah, he's done. Yeah, it's not been their night. But Rob Kelly and ads 3 seconds between them, 2.8 seconds. Millsy now becoming a very distant third. Almost a thought of the past here between ads and Millsy. And now Mad User getting into this fight here with Razadamer, DRS. For the Mercedes driver gaining on Razadamer to the outside. Those Razadamer defending. Mad User just not close enough though. But 4 laps remaining. Mad User is on for 4th place here and a very strong showing as well. Meanwhile, Millsy still 2.6 seconds down, and ads is starting to balance out that gap. 2.2 seconds. It's gonna be very, very close here to the end. 3 laps remaining, and that gap between Rob Kelly and ads is gonna be looking at around 1.8 seconds, and Rob's gonna have his work cut out here for the final few laps.
It's not the sight he wants to see. I don't think anyone would want to see the championship leader when you're on for your first win bearing down on you. Apparently, there could be a stipulation here. If driver gets not enough points, there could actually be a thing where ads might actually win the title here if he gains enough points over AMS Drive.
Is that possible? I don't think it is.
Drive needs to finish top 3. There's fish sticks. Top 3. And ads as fast as that. But ads is going to come away with 26 points. AMS Drive's going to come away with 8th.
That's a 17 points win. That's 71 points. And there's 83 on offer. It can't be.
So if ads can just win the sprint in Miami, he could actually be crowned champion.
Oh, he's deemed to have a good chance at doing that, up in 2nd place currently. But remember,
72 points is fish sticks.
72. Oh well, no, you don't. That's why they're the math magician. But still, as you see there, Mad User getting by Razadamer, and I was going to say as well, ads could be in a bit of bother here with the stewards. Because remember, at the start of the race, they had a collision with Bourbon Boy. So the stewards will be looking at that. Meanwhile, Rob Kelly looking in those side mirrors. He is.
That's with a penalty.
That's critical as well for the race. Razadamer is not going to finish ahead of Mad User. As ads, he makes contact with Rob into his turn 1. And that was a little bit naughty there from ads. And he's let Rob back through. But this is going to back him up completely through the S's section. Ads still behind Rob, who's given it absolutely everything he can here, and I respect Rob's desire to win this race, but he's got 2 laps here to hold on against what is arguably the faster driver here of the 2. And still, he's starting to back him up here, trying to get the better exit here, and maybe bring Millsy into this, but I don't know if that's going to help him here, as now through the first of the hairpins, it's Rob and ads, and I think for the moment here, it's going to be a formality as ERS, DRS for the Williams driver. Rob defending to the inside, doing everything within his power, but sometimes his power is not enough. Ads now down the outside, and he retakes the lead here at the Circuit of the Americas with 1.5 laps remaining. It's ads who retakes the lead from Rob Kelly, but what a performance from Rob to stretch these tyres. 17 laps.
There has been a switch at Alpine. Raza has let his teammate through.
That is in context of the championship, I'm sure. Both of the Alpines having a 3-second time penalty. But that is 2 more points for AMS Drive, which he needs in this championship fight. As we now see Sector 3...
Jock!
Oh,
Oh my god.
Joe! Careful.
Jesus Christ.
And that's put Hudson now up in 8th, Jock now down in 9th. As we begin the final lap of the race, it's between Rob and Millsy for who'll finish runner-up to Ads, who has been absolutely phenomenal in this race. The earlier exchanges with AMS Drive, he got by the Alpine. He's had his titanic feud with Millsy, but he's seen that off as well as through the S's for the final time. It's the Williams who's going to go through and potentially claim 26 points here, but there might still be further discussions to be had between the stewards, as with any time penalty and any points that are lost could be critical in this championship, as the Hasses have come together. That's not what you want.
It's lost time.
These two are fighting.
This could be big for Ads, because if Ads gets a 5, he needs to make sure he has a 5 if he wants to keep this win.
Millsy down the inside of his teammate, and that Rob hasn't fought that too hard here. Maybe looking for a switchback on the exit. He is looking for it, but the 18 lap old medium's nowhere near enough. And still, Ads has got a 4-second lead over Millsy. We'll have a look at the leader graphic. Just currently,
here comes Magusa.
That'll put him in 4th, but these guys can't fight too hard, otherwise they'll lose that advantage. But
Magusa.
Round the outside goes Mad User. We're going to see this very, very quickly before our leader crosses the line. Mad User gets his man and is up into 3rd place. That's heartbreak for Rob, but Ads crosses the line. Wonderful job from the Williams. Ads picks up another victory in his Tier 1 title charge. Millsy will take 2nd. Mad User picks up 3rd. Rob Kelly making the tyres last, just ran out of time at the end. 19 lap old mediums and 12 points to his bank account. He takes 4th. AMS Drive will take 5th. Henkes takes 6th.
It started raining.
7th.
It started raining at the end of the race.
Wow. And we've been absolutely robbed. Hudson.
It started raining.
And Hudson takes 8th place on their debut. Jock will take 9th. And Ermine will take 10th. Maybe a fastest lap as we see around the final corner. What have they got to offer? Maybe a fastest lap and cross the line.
No.
Nope, it's been DRS has been disabled.
DRS is disabled.
Yeah. Regardless,
It's actually, I think it's wet. Oh, there goes Carlos. Showing you that it's too wet.
Kind of sums up the midfield.
Yeah, well, you can see the pitter patter on the track now.
We've been.
So you think
we've been denied?
So you think if there was another safety car, we might have had somebody might have risked it to make. Oh, look how wet it's got already.
Oh my god! Why, man?
Why?
We've been denied off of a fantastic climax to this race. Look how wet it's got within half a lap.
I would say about a minute.
Not even a minute.
That's just a kick in the knee. We've never won. Yeah, good job, man. You came dead last that way with the finish, but here's driver of the day for you. I'll message you, mate. I'm like, mate, you got driver of the day. I'm like, you got driver of the day, mate. He's like, what?
I don't know what to make of that, ladies and gentlemen. I think Codemasters having their own little fly dig there at collateral Ads, but still, their namesake Ads in the Williams. Could that be the victory that all but secures a championship? We'll find out probably in a few moments' time. As
the stewards.
We'll need to wait for the stewards report to come out though and see what is said. Ads, Millsy, and Mad User are top 3 this evening. And Rob Kelly, what a performance from him, as mentioned, to pick up 4th from 12th on the grid. MS Drive just wasn't meant to be, picks up 5th. Henkes takes 6th, Raza takes 7th. Hudson on their debut takes 8th, Jock will take 9th. And Ermine picks up the final point of the day in 10th. And the casualties today, Bourbon Boy, the pole man, finishing at the back after a collision at the opening corner. Cormac and C. Davies coming together, with Lizard King, Ceres and Ali Ferrari also. Well, Tier 1, that was certainly pretty eventful. And Tijum says, regardless of Stewart's decisions, Ads can mathematically win the title. He can mathematically win the title in Miami. So that is a guarantee. And as I mentioned, it needs a gap of I believe it is 52 points or more after Miami to have secured the championship. So no pressure ads, but you could be our next winner in Tier 1 very, very shortly, as I know he's in the party, and I think we'll actually get a few words from him as well at the end, as we'll head to the virtual showroom and get the Mercedes. I was just about to say McLaren there, thankfully not. But there's Mercedes up on screen, and I think it's only fair, Gary, do you want to do third and first place?
There's no second.
Well,
Oh, so
well,
you're gonna have to do first.
very well done. So, I think in the meantime, while we wait for second place to join, if they are able to, that being Millsy, Silversay boy, it's over to you.
This is actually quite an honour, to be honest. I'm here with our third place man, steering it at the end on the final lap with a great overtake on Rob Kelly, who unfortunately lost it on the tyres on those last couple of laps. Is Mag User, and this is the first time I'll ever be speaking to Mag User, so this will be interesting. Oh, hi Mag, how are you doing? How was that qualifying for you?
I just saw a button here. I just want to make sure that you've included your audio here, Mad User. Don't think we can hear you on the stream.
Yep, just done it.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go. I think that should be it. Anyway, just repeat from the Silversay Boys question regarding qualifying.
Yeah, it just wasn't that great, to be honest. I thought I'd be higher. Obviously, qualified on the grid P5, but had that penalty when I span on my first go. So it wasn't the best qualifying for me, but qualifying's usually never my strong point anyway.
Yeah, I think racing you in Tier 2, Season 3. I don't know if that's entirely true. But yeah, we got to go on to that first lap of the race. What have you got to say on that first lap, first corner incident?
Oh, it was probably one of the best starts of my life. Yeah, it was a bit tight at the start, especially going on the inside. It's basically 90-degree corner, but just glad I didn't get caught up in the scuffle at the front of me, because obviously the Aston Martin span round.
Yeah, he unfortunately retired after being on pole, so that's a bit sad for Bourbon Boy. But yeah, and obviously we go to Miami, our final sprint race of the season, round 18 in Miami. How do you find Miami? Because I know it's not everyone's favourite track.
It's okay. It's a bit of a Marmite track, really. This will be my first sprint of the season, believe it or not, because I've missed the other two. But yeah, I'm excited to actually do one. But yeah, it's okay. It's hard to get us out around there because you need top speed around there.
Well, a lot of people might be running 0-0 wings.
I can imagine.
Oh dear. Well, congratulations to myself, a former Tier 2 driver, to you. Mate, you're doing smashing it in Tier 1.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Yeah, we miss you in Tier 2. Please come back. On to you, Cruiser, for our second place there.
Thank you, Gary, and well done to Mad User, stealing third place at the end there from Rob Kelly, and from P3 to P2, and that being Millsy.
Hello.
I believe we can hear you, just want to make sure.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear, Millsy.
I can hear you, right?
Yep.
Cool.
And just want to say, that was a very eventful race from your end.
Yeah, it was a bit of a crazy one, to be fair. I mean, the Strat, I think, played quite nicely. Just managed to get myself in the mix right there. But I mean, yeah, fair play to Ads, who was really quick, so I don't think I'd be able to keep up with him, even if I kept the DS a bit longer. So yeah, he's had the pace to win today. But yeah, I'm really happy, very happy with P2, considering where I started. So yeah, it's a really solid drive. I love the track as well. It's a good track to drive on. So yeah, it's really happy with it.
We saw as well though that that fight you had with Ads, especially just before the pit stops and just after the pit stops too. Um, just a matter of just you ran out of steam at the end and Ads pulled that gap, or you think you just knew where your fight was with the rest of the field?
Uh, I think I've always tried to fire ads if I could. I mean, you can see that, but to keep that up for like 12 laps was going to be a bit of a tall order, really, against a driver of that caliber. But yeah, I just sort of thought I'd give the stream a good show and try and keep the lead as much as possible. But yeah, in the end, had to settle just to try and catch Rob Kelly in the end.
And that you did, but as well, I'll give a quick shout out to your teammate. He done a fantastic
Yeah, he
job to
did
get where
really
he
well.
did. And
Absolutely.
oh, there you go. And on to Miami next week. As my user put it, it's a Marmite track for him. Is that the same case for you? Is it a bit of a hot and cold track, or is it one that you're very one-sided towards?
No, I quite like it. Their sections are a bit tricky. Like chicane sections, quite tight. I find it quite difficult. But yeah, other than that, I think it's a good track. It's certainly good. It's good for racing, so I can't complain.
And here's hoping we have more exciting racing next week from yourself, and maybe even Ads as
Hopefully.
well. And that's
Yeah.
the next time you get a bit of your own back. And I'll say, of course, again, well done on P2 this
Yeah.
evening.
Yeah,
And
cheers, boys.
no doubt Silversea Boy will echo my comments as I'll hand over to him for our race winner this evening and our championship leader, Ads.
Ads, you know what we're going to say straight away, mate. Up the wheels. Another win for the wheels. Just carrying our team to the Oval Constructors. But yeah, wasn't really as easy as it's been in the previous race, was it, for you? Oh, we're going to have to talk about that last Q3 quali. Mate, it's just so close in the last couple of minutes. Oh, you need to code your audio, sorry.
I mean, the first two sessions probably, I don't think I was that good. I think it was like P8 and P5 or something like that. I don't remember exactly. Q3, put my banker in. I thought it was pretty solid. And then, because I was the last person to come across the line to like finish quali, bit of added pressure, made like one or two kind of tiny mistakes, which probably cost me like the 10th to actually get pole. But I can't complain with P3.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have to start also on that. Talk about that first lap of the race. A little bit of carnage. Glad to see you keeping yourself out of trouble.
I mean, I saw the gap behind me off the start, and I mean I was just going to take it quite cautious, but I think Ball and Woe was also taking it quite cautious. So obviously he's broken a bit earlier than usual, and I've just kind of gone into the back of him. But I mean we've already spoken out about it, and we're mates as well, so there's no like bad blood about it. So I mean if I get reported, then it's whatever. But
Well, yeah, obviously, final question is obviously we're going to Miami Sprint next week. Obviously, you know the permutations of what you need to claim the title. How are you feeling going into that, knowing that after next Thursday you could be crowned Tier 1 champion?
I mean, a bit like this track, I feel pretty confident around there. I've had good results in other leagues that have like the likes of Drive in them, so I know I've definitely got the pace to be able to, I mean, hopefully win the championship there and take off some pressure. But we'll have to see. Maybe Drive will just blitz the whole field next week. You can never tell. So
Well, yeah, you can never tell with Mr. Toby Sill. A little bit off his game today, I would say, after you got past him. But yeah, back to you, Cruiser, to end out today.
Thank you to you, Gary, and well done to yourself, Ads. A very, very hard fought victory today, and I will say as well, because no doubt it will be Mr. Lawface returning next week. all the best in your championship pursuit. That though will be it for tonight's Tier 1 broadcast around the circuit of the Americas, but before we get to our closing end of the stream, Silverside Boy, it'd be a tough question tonight, but who would be your driver of the day?
I could be really funny and go with what the game said, but I'm not going to. It's got to be Rob Kelly.
Fair enough.
I don't
bold-
think anyone can argue with that.
A very, very bold strategy from Mr. Rob Kelly. Unfortunately, just ran out of laps to make it really worth the while. But still, a fantastic effort. Oh, audio. No audio. Is audio
That's all right.
crackling?
It was the start of Ads' interview.
Nope.
I got him to
Aye,
include
over.
audio.
Yeah. Well, it's the end of the stream. We're just going to go with it. But a big thank you to everyone for tuning in and for watching FPRL. We'll be back tomorrow evening, Friday night, around the circuit of the Americas, where it'll be Mr. C. Davies and I think a certain mystery guest. I'm not sure who it will be though, but
I'm
certainly.
just going to spoil it.
Just say it.
You all
Yeah,
know, man.
Yeah.
It's your favourite Stokey. No, it's not Walker. It's TJM.
Wow, you had to say that, didn't you? But still, there you go. So we've got C. Davies and Mr. Tidgham on Friday night before we roll on to Sunday and the final event around the circuit of the Americas, where yourself, Gary, are going to be paying for those torments because you'll be tag teaming with the one and only Locker on Sunday. Both races. Yeah, you didn't think about that, did you? But 8 p.m.
To be
UK
fair,
time. No, go ahead.
I'm meeting him in June 2nd, so he could become the favourite Stokey.
Yeah, I think you'll have a lot to say. But still, both of those races will be on 8 p.m. UK time on the FP Racing Lead Twitch channel, and be sure as well to follow our social medias on Twitter, FairPlayRL. We've got Instagram newly launched. We've got TikTok as well. There's no shortage of connections between yourself and FPRL. Join the lead as well through our recruitment Discord link we can find on the Twitch channel. And one day this could be you on track with, I would say, some of the best Xbox has to offer. I will say though as well, a big thank you to Silverside Boy for joining me on commentary this evening.
You're always welcome.
Running it back from tier 2 from Formula 2 days, and must be said I missed it one bit. Still, big thank you to Silverside Boy. As mentioned, a big thank you to everyone for tuning in and for watching. Tier 2 on Friday, Tier 4 on Sunday, and both of those championship fights are going down to the wire as well. So you don't want to miss that. And I'll be back next week for Miami. And this has been Cruiser 1872. Thank you very much for watching, and from all of us here at FPRL, good night. And a goodbye from Tier 1.